Chris Bitter, I'm Lee's brother. So, I'll try to make it through this best I can. So, reading through the Kilpatrick's website, looking at some of the comments that were there, there was one by Misty Johnson that really struck me because I was trying to figure out what I was going to say. And her comment was, it's truly remarkable the impact others can leave. Right? So that's a very simple statement, but it says so much. It says so much. It's truly remarkable the impact others can leave. And reading through all the comments and posts and everything else that Lee's coworkers shared, it was really heartwarming to see that. It's often said there are two sure things. Everybody knows what those two sure things are, right? Death and taxes. I would venture to say there's another one. There's a legacy. Whether we like it or we don't, whether we have a good one, whether we have a bad one, everybody has a legacy. All right, so that's what hit me with that statement. It's truly remarkable the impact others can leave. And Lee left a positive legacy. It's very clear from all the comments, from knowing her as my sister, from growing up with her. It wasn't always positive, right? I'm sure that, I don't remember when I was locked out at the screen door, it was pretty rough. But she was good to us. She was a great sister, and we're thankful for that. I'm really, as I look at her life, I'm very proud of her. As much as I'm proud of her for her accomplishments with work, as I read through these things, I'm really proud of the way she impacted others. Because we're going to come across people in our lives, and we're going to have either a good or bad impact on them. And I believe, at the bottom of my heart, I believe that she had a very positive impact on others, and she lived her life that way. She loved her job. If anybody knows Lee, she loved her job. I'm looking at her coworkers here. Thank y'all for being here and for everything. The CEO of her company sent a message to the 8,000 employees yesterday to let them know of Lee's passing. So there's 8,000 employees at this company, and he sends an email out to all the employees. Probably won't happen when I pass away, but here's an excerpt from from part of that letter. He said, "Lee will forever be remembered as a genuine and caring leader, positive mentor, and encouraging friend. Lee was greatly admired and appreciated by all who had the pleasure of working with her. I will personally celebrate so many things about Lee, including the way she uplifted her team and extended the same helping hand to anyone in our company. I will always smile when I think about Lee setting her very high goals." I'm guessing those were kind of set for her too, right? Accepting those very high goals is probably it. Complaining with her ever-present charm that they were unattainable, and then exceeding them without fail. And that's who she was. So, this is the part I was worried about reading. So Lee was awarded the President's Award for this past year. I'm praying for peace right now, guys. All right, Steve Bilt, her CEO, mentioned in the letter, he knows that future recipients will be deeply humbled to receive the aptly renamed Lee Anthony Scott President's Award. So they're renaming this award after her. And that's a big deal. To use my friend Robbie's statement, that's a big deal. You know, it's humbling. It's very humbling. He said it. They'll be deeply humble. It's very humbling. It's humbling for me. But the common theme mentioned by her co-workers were kindness, dedication, genuineness, professionalism, and passionate about helping people, to name a few. So as I read those, these are characteristics that are Christ-like. These are Christ-like characteristics. This is how Jesus lived his life. That's how he carried himself. And it reminds me that was Lee. One of my favorite things is to read in the Bible is about servant leadership. It's how we're all to carry ourselves. Lee didn't lord over people that she's the boss, right? She didn't carry herself that way. She was a servant leader. All these comments that I read about taking time, kindness, compassion, empathy, all those things, being willing to do whatever, you know, it talks to that. It speaks directly to the servant leadership that she provided. So, the person that she probably talked about the most out of anybody when she would come home was Dr. Smith. Dr. Smith is right over here. And Dr. Smith worked with Lee for 27 years. And, you know, I was talking to Sabrina, who's next to Dr. Smith here. She worked with Lee for 30 years. You know, you put that into perspective. I was 18 when they started working together. That's a long time to spend with somebody. And it was recently when I was talking to Sabrina. I was on my way back from Ruston. And it hit me while we were talking that they spent a lot of time together and really just, you know, loved one another. And it was very evident. There's so many ways it was evident. And it hit me that we're having a hard time, but these guys are too. And it's very obvious reading on the post. So Dr. Smith's going to come say a few things in a second, but I want to thank you for coming. There's two people I'll mention with Louisiana Hospice, Amy and Gail. There's plenty of others, but Amy and Gail came and took such good care of my sister. And God has a calling on hospice. I don't know if y'all have ever experienced anything with hospice, but man, those people are anointed. It is amazing. And you know, I don't know how we would make it without them. And I told Amy that clearly. But I also want to thank my mom. I want to thank Olivia. You know, they stepped up. When others are down, when your loved ones are down, somebody has got to step up. And they did it. So, you know, there was a song I heard at my friend Ross Dupree's dad's funeral, Go Raise High on the Mountain. I'll never, ever forget that song in that setting. It was powerful. It was in Gilpatrick's, where we were earlier. And it was a very powerful song. And I firmly believe that's where Lee is resting right now. She doesn't have cancer. She has no pain. And for that, I'm thankful to God. So thanks again for coming. And just thank you for the love and compassion and just loving my family. So, Dr.